Ben Brown, Evolution Martial Arts in Sparks, Nevada with Jared. It's been a minute. Had a lot going on. We're getting into guard passing. So I teach in cycles. I teach modules. We just did half guard, guard before that. Now we're on to guard passing. And it's a big topic. It's a huge topic. I think most of jiu-jitsu, like especially at higher levels, happens in the period where one person's trying to pass the other's guard. So guard passing and guard retention are huge. I think for people like us, for hobbyists, we're not trying to win the world, we're not trying to win the UFC title, nothing like that. Guard passing is actually pretty simple once you understand the premise. The premise is this. Go ahead and be seated facing me. I have to limit your hip mobility. That's what it comes down to. Scoot this way for me just a little bit. So you're doing a really smart thing here, is you're making it hard for me to limit your hip mobility. What a lot of people do is they'll face you square on in like a butterfly type situation. To me, this is easier for me. I like it when people do this. I want you on your back, right? Because right now you're very mobile. For being on the ground and me being standing, you're pretty mobile. Your hips are completely free. So what you'd be looking to do is connect to me in ways that, yeah, can allow you to sweep me, take me down, things like that. I want you on your back, right? The best way to put you on your back, I've found, and this is a Marcelo Garcia thing, he's a hell of a lot better than I am. He just shoves them right by the head. God. Now, there's options from here. Our next video, we're going to talk about a thing he's taught, which is headquarters, right? But like, you're not nearly as mobile now. You can't connect to me with your hands. You might be able to connect to me with your feet, but not in a great way. As opposed to when you're sitting up, you can connect with your hands, you can keep moving. So I like people being on their back. And so flip this over. If you're on the ground and the other person's standing, unless you're specifically working on something, don't lay on your back. You know, now if you're trying to get good at things, you're working on a tripod sweep, say, or something like that, cool, go on your back and play, but just know that this is a much worse position than sitting up. And so there are various ways to limit hip mobility. I like to play this game. If we're rolling live and I've shoved you back twice maybe, like that, sit back up, the next time you've got it in your head, you're like, I am not letting that happen again. So you like lean into me, right? And then I'm gonna pull your head forward. And this pins your hips. It's weird, I'm not anywhere near your hips, but I am pinning your hips. Can you move your hips as much as you want to right now? See, and I can start moving around. That's a little simplistic, it would never happen quite like that. We'll talk about a guard pass later where I'll pin your ankle like this, kind of a reverse grip, and I pull your head forward. This pins your hips, right? Lay back. We'll talk about my favorite way to pass guard from here is to clamp here, and there'll be more videos on this. This is pinning your hips. Not forever. It doesn't mean you can't fix it. You'll fix it. But for a second, your hips aren't very mobile. Right, so I can kind of see what you're going to do. Something like that, like a modified bullfighter pass. When you understand that the key to guard passing is all about their hips, and then when you study a specific guard pass, okay, and you realize, oh, it's about pinning the hips, the whole thing gets easier. Now, there's another set of passing, some people call it speed passing, where I'm trying to move around your hips or over the top before you can adjust. That's a thing, I'm not calling it wrong, but I'm 52. I have 2 artificial hips and a bad shoulder. I'm not trying to outspeed people. That is not sustainable for me, right? And also, if you rely on speed passing and the person you're going against has great guard retention and they're faster than you and they beat you to that spot and that's all you've got, you don't have anything now. So I'm a fan of controlling the hips, pinning the hips, Move around the hips, get really good at that. You can do that forever. You can do it against anybody. It's way more reliable. That's the kind of jiu-jitsu I like. It's the kind that I teach. Again, I'm not saying the other stuff is wrong. It's just not what I prefer, and I just told you the reasons why, right? So all the guard passing that I'm going to teach is about pinning those hips and taking advantage of that, okay? And again, someone's sitting up, I'm going to do one of two things. Like, this is it. I'm either going to shove them on their back. Usually I follow it up with this, right? I'm right here. Or I see that they don't want me to push them back, and so I pull their head forward. And you know what most people do when I do this? They don't do that. They pull their head back. And then I go like that. You're unconventional. You do weird stuff, which is, I think, a strength of your game, which is why you thought like that would be. But if I pull on most people's head, they pull their head back. And then I shove them back like I wanted to in the first place. So it becomes a binary thing. This or that, this or that. And in jiu-jitsu, I love binary. I love two choices, right? And John Danaher talks about offensively, you put people in dilemmas. He even calls them trilemmas sometimes, where there's only two options. I have created a situation where you only have two options, and they're both wrong for you. And I know what your options are, right? So when I'm here, like if you're sitting up and you're facing me like this, I can easily create a dilemma. I go like this, or I go like this, one or the other. If you don't pull your head back here, cool, then I start moving around it. Like, you have to, right? And if you pull your head back, and then I shove over, and like I'm to the place I wanted to be in the first place. Dilemma. Guard passing. Pin the hips. So what I want you to do is study guard passing. There's some great teachers out there. I know who I like. I like Lachlan Giles. I like Henry Akins, Matt Thornton, Jiu-Jitsu, Eli Knight. There's a bunch. You know, there's like 5 people who I consult when I'm trying to brush up on a topic or I'm learning about something I don't do very much. I consult those guys. Well, when you consult who you like, John Danaher, Gordon Ryan, yeah. Marcelo Garcia, yeah. Roger Gracie, you know, some of the OGs. When you consult them and it's guard passing, look at what they're teaching through this lens. How do they control the hips? Because I can tell you, all those OGs, they all do the control the hips, pin the hips, and they all do it. So you can watch what they're teaching through that lens. You got any questions?
Nope.
Got any comments?
Nope.
Got any jokes?
No.